So Amazon, you've been able to buy vehicles on Amazon for a while, but they're now expanding that market. Just want to bring that to light. We'll touch on it and then talk about it.
Amazon has been quietly expanding its car sale business. Amazon Autos now operates in over 130 cities with 6 car manufacturers. Retail guy Gerald Storch with me here in New York. I know you love Amazon. Would you buy a car from Amazon, and do you think it's going to be a big part of their business?
Look, right now it's tiny. They're a very small part of what is a huge market. But I'd never bet against Amazon. I remember when I first met Jeff Bezos in his office in Seattle, he had just expanded out of books. Remember, he just started with books?
I remember.
Into selling toys.
I'll tell you what, if Amazon can figure out a way to, much like Tesla, cut all that fat and sell cars at a cheaper price, we have something here. But if there's just going to be another, like a online car platform, then I don't see where they're really going to disrupt anything.
Electronics. And he said he was going to one day sell everything, every product. I thought he was nuts.
Yeah.
He was true to his word. So don't bet against.
Definitely recommend their stock, though. I gobble up Amazon, pick it up as much as I can, and I just hold on to it. I think Amazon is just going to be one of those companies that's just going to always innovate, and they're always going to be there year after year. It's going to be an uptick on it. So definitely, that's in my portfolio. Recommend that for others.
I had exactly the same reaction. It was the late 1990s. I was working at another competing network, and we interviewed Jeff Bezos, and he was in books. And he said exactly the same thing. I'm books today, I'm everything tomorrow. And he had this laugh. He's always laughing, Jeff Bezos. I don't know whether he does now, but back then he was always laughing. And he goes out, and it's true. I mean, you can get just about anything on Amazon these days.
That's right. And right now, what they're really doing is listing automobiles that are for sale at dealers. And so they're referring you to dealers. And there is a lot of complexity here because of the franchise dealer networks and trying to get access to all those cars. But if anyone can do it, they can. And again, they don't have to get a huge share for it to be a big business for them.
All good stuff. A new survey, I think this is a little troubling. New survey shows late payments on these buy now, pay later loans. They're rising, late payments rising. That's not a good sign, is it?
No, well, it's not good, but I wouldn't get too worried about it quite yet. Keep in mind that these loans have been growing very rapidly, so there's a lot more people who have them, and the people who have them often have multiple loans, and they try to keep track of them on your phone, and you've got different providers.
Don't recommend getting caught up in the buy now, pay later. Klarna, Affirm. Hey, don't get, that's like just online loan sharks. Don't get caught up in that game. That's a web right there.
Very complex. And so what we've seen is they're missing payments, but the delinquency rate has not gone up. In other words, the people who actually aren't paying them off, that rate has not gone up yet. So it's something to watch, just like delinquency rates on credit cards, which actually have not been rising, by the way. So they shot up during the pandemic, and now they've flattened, since then. So overall, we don't see signs of a totally distressed consumer like some people may lead you to believe. So I'd watch this, but I'm not panicked by this.
Okay. Every time we've spoken to you, you've had 2 favorite retailers, Amazon and Costco. I'm sure there's another one which I've forgotten. What's the other one?
Costco is another one to watch. I don't have any Costco in my portfolio, but, well, them and Walmart. I don't have either, but I wish I did.
Walmart.
Thank you. Who could forget Walmart?
Well, and I would add TJ Maxx, a little bit smaller player, but still over $100 billion market cap. Keep in mind, when you've got someone like TJX, whose market cap is 3 times, 4 times Target's, 3 times, that's huge. It's sure unbelievable. But Walmart is so vast.
Okay, so who's the up-and-comer? Walmart, Amazon, Costco. I want the name of an up-and-comer.
Look, those 4 retailers, Walmart, Amazon, Target, TJX, and Costco, have been capturing share from everyone else. I mean, there are smaller people, like Five Below, for example, that's been doing very well and capturing some share. But people tend to do well for a while, and then they fall back. Meanwhile, these other ones are consolidating the industry.
Department stores?
Look, there's very few left, and the ones that are left are still struggling. And if you look at them, they're bragging when they get a 1 or 2% sales increase, same store sales increase, when inflation is 3%. So
my heart goes out to the department stores. Bring them back. Nostalgia. I do like being able to, I tell you what, I give you a story. So I went online, Macy's. We had a event to go to, a funeral, and my shirts didn't get here when they said they were gonna get here. So I actually had to go in the store and grab them. I ended up finding just as good as shirts for a cheaper price, just because I went in the store. So, we've gotten instilled in our brains that online is always better. But I found a better deal. It was on clearance. The shirts I had to get 3 of them, and just by walking in the store, I ended up saving money, you could say, and found what I needed. So it's, I say all that just to say, hopefully the department stores can remain in existence, because it's all a balance. I do like trying them on sometimes. Sometimes online's a little off. I'd end up sending it back, and that's a whole hassle. So we'll see where it goes with the whole department stores. I still like going to the malls. So hopefully those can stick around from now on here on in the future.
And again, someone like Walmart's going at 5%. So they're essentially shrinking into irrelevancy.
The next time you come and join us, will you promise to add one more to the up and
So that's Amazon. We'll see how their selling cars online goes. I don't think they're going to be much disruptors. Hopefully I'm wrong though, so all of us can reap the benefits and get cheaper prices on our vehicles. But that remains to be seen. Man.